Hi everyone, welcome to the next part of this series from Rita Berman's Minor Rise of Dirty Asian. That was a good start, wasn't it? We're going to be colouring this girl here, so we're moving over onto the right hand side of the page. Make sure you've got a piece of paper tucked under, or transfer the one from this side to that side so that you've got some protection under your page. And let's go in closer and have a look at our girl. Now she's got something in her hair, flower and dress. She's got a little present. We might do the present, but maybe not. We might leave the accessories for a different video. Now for her hair, I think we don't want to go too dark because we want to see these teardrops on there. I don't really know what they are, but I think we should see them. So I'm going to I think we'll do a brown. We haven't done a brown hair yet. So if we start with this raw umber, it's going to be quite light, and we'll put a darker one on. So this is a bit like the colour of this girl here, but as I say, we'll put a darker one on after, and then it will look like darker hair. So for the hair, use your up and down movement, and then when you get white paper showing through, it looks like the hair strands, which is pretty good. Helps us, the paper helps us to get the texture that we want. I'm not trying to colour around these teardrop shapes, I'm just colouring over them. I think because they're black it's not going to matter, we're going to see them anyway. It will dull them down slightly, but not enough for me to worry, and hopefully not enough for you to worry either. So we'll just work through. There's a football match on at the moment. I was wondering whether I should stay and watch it, but I decided it's probably less stressful to colour than watch it, as it's England playing. This video is going out a long way after. I'm getting way ahead so I can have a little holiday. So, well, I say holiday, I'll be at home, but just a bit of a break away from doing my usual routine, really. It's not because I need a break from videos. I enjoy making them. The editing is okay. It doesn't take very long, really. I do it in the background to doing other things, and so most of it is all fun. But this is the walnut brown. I'm going to put some on top. I'm doing sort of stripes a bit so that I can get some different colours into the hair. Yeah, and my husband's off work, so I'm hoping we can go out and about a little bit. Might be able to take some inspirational photos, I'm not sure. I'm also having a think about a couple of other projects I've thought about. One of them I've had on the back burner for a long time, and it's just trying to find the time to fit it in. And also I was just thinking about the logistics of it earlier as well. The idea is good, it's just getting it done which is tricky, as is with a lot of these things. And the other idea, yeah, again, time is always not on your side. I don't like being that really busy person who's got no time to do anything, but I'm finding at the moment that's how I seem to be. So I'm not sure. I think there might be a few, if I cut down my social media a little bit, that might help me. But then, you know, I like to do that. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to what face colour shall we use for this one? Oh, excuse me, yawning. I am tired today. This is cinnamon. Actually, yesterday I ate, let me think, I ate a very small late lunch. I'm just doing an even layer of cinnamon. And then a fairly smallish, no, quite substantial tea, again late. So I don't know if that made any difference. I was standing up a lot of the day. Well, not a lot of the day, but a lot more than I normally would. Oh, we need to do this bit too, and her hands. It'd be a little bit darker just under the chin. There'd be a bit of shadow. I'm just going to plain colour in the hands and then have a think whether there'll be any shadow or not. I think there will be. Yeah, there'll be some under here, neck. But yeah, I was standing up, doing washing up and things like that, and chatting standing up at times. Don't know why. Just, you know, when you're at one of these big sort of family do's, which is what we're at a party, you tend to stand up and talk at times to people. I'm thinking firstly about the flower in her hair, and I really think it looks like cherry blossom, and I'd like to do it pink. We've got so much pink in this picture already that I don't know. I'm pondering. Maybe I should do her dress first. I've decided that I want to do a dress in green. We've already done a green dress, I realise that, but different greens. I'm going to actually start with this one, which is the light phthalo green, and do the sort of main parts, the plainer bits, I think. Just trying to work out quite what's going on with the dress. We've got the sleeves and a bit underneath, but this spotty bit is different. So let's do this sort of main plain bit with this one. So we've got our sort of bluey greens out for this bit, rather than the other green dress that we did, which was in a more grass green type, leaf green, meter green. Yeah, so I was washing up and all that sort of thing, you know, as you do at these family days and help out. And so I don't normally wash up very much, maybe 1 or 2 pans, but the dishwasher was full and there was lots of things that couldn't go in it, so it's a big old washing up. So I think that's part of it as well. But it's Monday morning today doing this, and I don't like being tired on a Monday. I feel like I should be, you know, energised and raring to go. Now I'm thinking this is a sash, and I will do that maybe different, but on the other dress I did it the same. I think on the sleeve detail I might do some stripes on these zigzags and do one of the stripes in this colour and one in a different colour. So I'm going to, I've just sharpened up, and I'm going to do the bits in there. I think that's one here. There we go. Oh, I nearly did the wrong bit then. But I hope everyone else is feeling a bit more energised than me. And thankfully you don't need much energy to do colouring, in fact quite the opposite. I think I want to do the inside of these as well. There we go. Yeah. Now I'm going to grab a different shade of phthalo green. This is just the phthalo green, so it's the slightly darker one. And I'm going to start on the... See, do I do the big zigzags the same colour? I'm going to do them on this one side and then think. So if I don't, it won't be the same. Yeah, I'm going to do both the big ones the same. That's what I'm going to do. Like that, just blocking it in. Same on this side. I quite like the bluey green colours. I don't use them very much for trees and leaves, not as much as the olives, but they are rather nice. I'm a bit confused why there's a collar on this side but not on this side. But anyway, I don't think it matters. I'm going to do that the same colour as that, which isn't going to be this colour. It's going to be the dark phthalo green, which I'm just grabbing now. And I'm going to finish off these edges. Oh, I didn't do those. This is the phthalo green. Sorry to confuse, but I missed that bit off. didn't I? Did you notice? There we go. Now we can go in with the dark. I'm rushing myself a little bit, I think. I find it interesting that the difference between the dark and mid phthalo greens are not that big. I mean, I'm layering it up a bit so that you can see. But the difference between the light and the mid seems much bigger. This one and this one. It's okay, you can see a difference, and that's the main thing. There we go. And then the edge of this sleeve. And then I'm thinking about the other bits and pieces. I'm going to actually grab the light phthalo green again. I'm just going to go over this again. It's a little bit pale compared to the others. These, it looks a bit wishy-washy, so I'm just putting down a bit more colour. I think that looks better. I'm going to use it on there as well. There we go, that's better. Happy with this. Okay, now we have the I'm going to use the Chrome Oxide Green Fiery. It's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Let's give it a sharpen. There we go. Here it is, Chrome Oxide Green Fiery. And I'm going to use it on the sash, so on the very top of the sash and on the main part of the sash, leaving that little line for another colour, for another shade. Fill it all in. And then I'm going to use it on these stripes. Now I'm going to just start there. And just colour in every other one. Not all clearly defined, but I don't think that matters. I think we're okay. There we go. Yeah, I was chatting to my sister yesterday. She's starting a college course in September, well, university course actually. She's going to be doing a master's degree in English language and literature. She just ooh, my lamp's just gone out. I think we've got a power cut. Hang about. Hi, I am back after the power cut, and for you it's just been a few seconds, but for me it was probably a couple of hours, I think. I'm just going to continue where I left off with the, it's just plain colouring, isn't it? We're doing these stripes. I can't really remember. We had 2 hours. The power came back on just as the football was at penalty shootout, and we hadn't been really following the football match that happened to be on, but as there was a penalty shootout, we just watched the end of it, and then I did a few jobs. Oh, I made a few phone calls actually, and then sorry, this is emerald green, and I'm going to use the emerald green for the other stripes. So yeah, we watched the penalty shootout, and then yeah, made a few phone calls and had lunch. So it's been a really long time, but that's okay. It was quite a power cut, interesting. My neighbour came round to the door. My first one neighbour phoned to see if our power was out, and luckily my son happened to hear the phone ringing, because it's my portable phones don't work in a power cut, and there's one plugged in phone, landline phone upstairs, and so I answered and spoke to her, and she was worried that it was just her, but when she knew it was us as well, she was happy-ish. I mean, obviously it's not ideal because she's trying to work and things, but knowing that it wasn't just her meant that, you know, there wasn't some sort of thing she had to worry about. I'm going to also use this for this stripe in here, look. Yeah, we don't know what it was, but I didn't know this, so people in the UK, apparently, you may know this already, I might just be the only person that doesn't know, but apparently if you phone number 150. It connects you with your local national grid. This is deep cobalt green. So I found this out, so I phoned the number. I can do all the spots. I phoned 150 and it was a message, and I could do two options. One was emergency damage to electric pylons and things, and the other one was power cuts. So press the power cut button, and the robot that I spoke to said, "Is this your postcode?" And it said my postcode, so obviously somehow from my phone number it knew my postcode, so that was very useful. So I said, yes. And then it said, "We're aware there's a problem and it will be back by noon, and the power should be estimated to be back by noon." So it's like, oh, that's good. So someone was aware, so that was fine. So that was all good. But it took us ages to try and find that information because obviously our modem didn't work. My son has some data on his phone. Oh, I'm going to have to shut the blind. Look at that. I thought the sun had gone. So my son had data on his phone. Let's just give the camera a minute to adjust. There we go. So he looked up the energy company's number, and I went to their website. Actually, I phoned the number that it put up that you should ring, and that didn't work. So I opened up their website. This is the hooker screen, and I'm going to do all the other colour in the background. And yeah, so it told you to ring this number. So that was useful. So 150, it's a useful one because nowadays everything's online. We don't have a phone directory or anything like that. I mean, not that I want one because it takes up room and is muddly. You know, I try and keep stuff to a minimum as we've got a lot of stuff. I mean, my stuff, of course my stuff is all really important, useful and put away neatly. It's just everyone else's stuff. But yeah, it was useful to know that 150 to ring. But there was one neighbour who came from quite far away down the road, running up and down, really panicking. "But I don't know who to ring. I can't get online." It's like, well, no, you won't be able to use your modem because it uses electricity. You know, he was like, panic. I was like, "Oh dear, it's okay. You know, it's not too bad." But yeah, he was in such a panic, poor chappie. Now we've got these couple of bits in here. I might do them actually the deep cobalt green colour, I think. I'd do them that colour. So it was quite funny. But then I had to make a few phone calls after in case people were trying to phone me and I hadn't heard the phone. It's a little bit ridiculous. I'm going to grab my dark phthalo green, sorry, because I think that in here, between her and the cat, there's a tiny bit, and I'm sure that should be that. Okay, it's just a tiny detail. I'm actually just procrastinating because I've got no clue what to do with this. I have a feeling that this like hair pin, I don't know, might work in black. I've got a feeling that I've seen them in black. I don't know where that feeling's come from, but it'll match these bits, won't it? So let's use the black. I'm just going to sharpen it. Oh, I was very excited today. This will be old news by the time this video goes out though. But I just got Sarah Renee Clark's weekly newsletter, and she'd featured one of my pictures, which was rather nice, because I use her colour cube cards, and there was a little bit about her colour cube cards in the newsletter. And I sometimes, when I post a picture on Instagram using a colour cube card, I'll tag her in it. And so she put it in her newsletter with my Instagram link. So that was nice of her. It was one I was quite proud of actually. So it was a mandala, which sometimes I just do to chill, and I don't always do them that neatly. You know, it's just a sort of in the evening when I'm tired thing. But that one I did some blending of some colours and things using the card, different colours on the card, and yeah, it came out well, I thought. She says very big-headedly. What to do? I think I'm going to do red because it got hearts. Let's do it red. Here we go. This is the Middle Cadmian red. Yeah, so while we had the power cut, my boys were reading their driving license books, you know, to learn some of the information from those. And I was writing a plan for something. Now, normally I'd write it on my computer because I couldn't paper and pencil. But I've been meaning to do it and I hadn't put aside any time. So, you know, I was sort of forced. But I did spend quite a lot of time talking to my neighbour outside. Because, you know, what else do you do when there's no power? For entertainment, you have to go and talk to real people. I think I'm going to use some carmines for this. I think it might work. So I'm going to grab the rose carmine and use that for the flower because it's quite reddish. I think it will tie it up, but I don't really want the flower to be red. I want it to be pink. I've just realised it's the same as this one, so I think we might do them. Are there any others the same? No, maybe we'll do them the same. Let's start with this one anyway. So I'm going to put down more colour in the middle because for me it looks like we're looking down inside the flower. So if we make this bit darker in the middle here and then make it a bit lighter as we go out, then hopefully we'll get that impression. It's quite difficult sometimes, depends how it's drawn. But I might be able to do that. And I was telling him of how when there was a football match on once and the power went down and we found a battery powered radio and put it on and all the neighbours came round to listen. It was a World Cup match. Quite a few of the neighbours were football fans at the time. But my neighbour said, oh, no one here's a football fan. I was like, oh, we are. And another neighbour is, but she's not there at the moment. She just watched the football. She's having a weekend away, which is nice. So I'm going to grab a white pencil and do a bit of white around the edge. Because I think this needs a bit of blending, and I don't want to add any more colour onto it. I might be better with a different white. I think it's okay actually. That bit worked quite well. Might be hard to see anyway. And I'm going to do this one as well. It won't be in the photo at the end of the video because it's just a little odd one. But I want it to look the same, so I'm doing the same thing. So putting the harder colour here and then less towards the edge. I'm going to try and do it a bit neater this time, so it'll be easier to tone it down with the pencil. That's better. And then fade it in. I was chatting to my mum on the phone. I think I was probably saying maybe earlier, I don't remember, that we'd had a sort of family get together yesterday, and I was talking to her today and she said me and your dad did a bit of tidying up after and put the dishwasher on, etc. You know. Power's gone out again. Okay, I will be back. Right, that was only a sort of 5-minute power cut, so I know what I was doing. I was just about to do this, I think, and put the white on this one. I thought I would, last time I left it a while before I came back in case it went down again. This time I thought I wouldn't. I wonder if they switched us onto a temporary generator and then switched it back again once they fixed the problem or something. Anyway, before we finish, I have got some white pen to do on those flowers. Where these little stamens are. I'm going to do them in white. So I've got my Jelly Roll 10, which is quite a thickish nib, and I'm going to do the stems and the circles with the white pen. I think it'll just look a little bit prettier than black. Now if you don't have a white pen, then you can leave them white, but it might be a bit late. You could use black. You could fill it in with a darker colour, a darker pink, something like that. I'm going to do this one as well. Sorry, it's not very clear. It seems a little bit pointless moving the book just for this little bit. But no, I don't know what's been going on. I did check the local news to see whether it was a big power out, but my son said it couldn't have been because his friend hadn't had it, and she lives, you know, 10-15 minutes walk away, not massively far away. So he said it couldn't have possibly been because he'd been in touch with her. But anyway, that is us done. Yes, in my end photo I'll just show this bit, it won't show that one. But I just wanted to do it at the same time so I didn't forget. It's a sort of bit of a tip, probably a no-brainer, but just, you know, if you want something to look the same, either write it down or do it at the same time, you know. But there we go, there's our next lady. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.